What's going on, YouTube? It's time for another recap. It's an exciting recap today as we finally closed out we had an 800 and a 500 point outlook on NQ to get all the way back to 22,080, 20,073 area, which we have called many times in the last 2 months as we were looking for some algos that needed to be filled. They will also come back and test these intraday and long term, excuse me. So we had some really good trade outlooks this morning. I had another dip to rip. I wanted to see the golden level here. We'll talk about here in Qs. Green zone to blue zone, short on SPY for the morning. And then, of course, back long. You're not going to ever get a short week out of a holiday weekend, and especially a presidential election week. So as we come into some of our targets here, we had a short level posted right here. First golden level posted, 606.19. Perfect reaction start to the short, and lots of pre-market left. So looking for that short there at the golden. We'll go over that. And then I reiterated right here that way back on January 6th, this is like one of the third or fourth times I've posted this here. But regardless, the target was 22,085 to 78 or so. And I was calling that way down here. We actually called it at 21,380 and 580 if I look back in my notes here during our live streams and groups over and over, and of course on X here. So we finally are coming into that swing target, calling over 500 to 800 points on the NQ. Then we had another one. Here's another great dip buy posted for the chat here. I was said buy the 10 SMA 5-minute long roll up, go long to 22,069 on the NQ. So watch your QQQ. This 10 SMA blue dash line, I said buy the 10 SMA 5-minute, and I said we're looking for a loop to go long, and then go long to 533.13 gold level there, utilizing Qs. So let's see how everything turned out today. We'll start over here on SPY's prediction for the short morning, and then, of course, back to long. We had a couple no-tag golden pockets here, and of course, we spent all the time RSI on the top, right, and MACD all pre-market, so there was nothing overall macro bearish on the day. We were only looking for uptrends, just a small, quick short, and then to actually go back long. So let me delete some of this stuff here so you can see the intradays here. So this is that green zone, and I had a short down to 605.36. So like I said, I wanted to see this 606.19 gold level short down to the live tag of this 2618. That is a magnet, and we needed that hit. So right here was the short call, and ding was the short out. Okay, great. QQQ had a lot of divergence and actually pushed past our target and didn't drop back. It actually hit the first leg of the golden and never the second, which is perfectly fine. Nothing in the market's not going to do exactly what you want it to do every single day, but we do have a couple different things we can go over here. So this is the whole trade outlook, right? And I wanted to go long from 529.29 if we were covered off of 528.69. So I put this really nice gold, big old box on the 50 fib. This is a no tag, so we will be coming back down to this. We're going to keep this on here because when the markets drop back down, this is going to be a gnarly magnet when the algorithms decide to turn. And what we got here at the open was, I said 2 levels are going to hold, 529.29. I said this is our worst case scenario because we were short at the open. We made some great plays, and I said if we hold right here, it is squeeze dominant. And you seen from that picture, I drew a green bar right here, and I said squeeze right to that 0. Then we were going to go even higher as I posted on X. But we never got our support, so I couldn't get in long. I did do the short here pre-market. I rolled some down. I've seen the whole. We got profit stopped out at a break even. No big deal. Still made $800 on that one. And then over the 1618, we were going to this 1618 and this 0. And we nailed that. And then the ending days of the trade, we called a intraday mover here. When I said the 10 SMA, and I left this here on the chart when I told my group about it. I said just buy that 10 SMA and look for a loop. If you're not familiar with algorithms and how they treat moving averages, they do little traps here and there. I have 2 different videos, which I'll post in the description for you guys if you want. You can check out how I use moving averages personally and the algos that are associated with it. It's also the first tag. Look at the video labeled do this every day. I'll also put that in the description. So you'll have all the videos right there if you want to check this out. So price action came up, blasted through our levels. We were over 531.24. That was a no tag algo for me. You see it back test right here. So broke over, back tested support. And I said, oh, well, that's game over. We're going to go straight up to our target of 22,080 area on NQ. So I said, buy the 10 SMA 5-minute first tag and then look for a loop. So we scalped this one first tag. So that means we broke over right here, right? And then when the 10 SMA caught up, we were going to scalp it long. We're not going to get up here quite yet. We needed a loop, right? We need a short trap. And a loop is when price action falls below the 10 SMA, spends a little bit of time. We have full candles developed underneath the 10 SMA. That's a very big part of the loop. Check the video. I'll post in the description. And then as we come back over the 10, we follow that loop up to target. So my target was 533.13, then a little bit higher, of course, on those NQs. So I called that move out for the group here. So everybody knew to loop buy and then scalp buy. So we had a beautiful scalp buy of 40 some points here. Then I said, watch for the loop before I got off stream at about 10 a.m. Had some medical stuff I had to take care of quick, but we said loop. So 5-minute loop. Perfect. We said call and then long to our final target. So let's take a peek at our final target here. So my final target was right here. We had an algo imbalance at 22,080, as you seen posted, and we posted this multiple months ago, and this is where the NQ is coming back to. And usually my large, long targets become great short entries. So I said, don't short here. I protected the entire chat, and I was talking to you guys like right here, and this big scam coming. I said, don't short, don't short, don't short. I can see this thing coming from a mile away. Actually, at the open here, we had a couple of members were trading here, 21,800. I said anything over that was gone with the wind. So that was going to get us to our 22,000. So we called about 200-300 points today, and then that was the ending of our 500 to 800 point swings. We had 2 different swings on the watch. So we had this beautiful break back up. It was a massive squeeze, and that was it. After we seen that breakout, it was purely off the 10 SMA because that's going to be your fastest moving average. Notice we're here in the blue dash line. That's that 10, rolls up, again, hits, loops, swoops, and then you can see the structure of the candles here on the 5-minute chart gets stuck under the 10 SMA. Very good bearish metric. You can look at your oscillation indicators for that short entry as well. So if we bring up our RSI and MACD indicators, we got that lower high divergence here, just a beautiful lower high RSI while the market is putting in a higher high. So price action is higher, relative strength lower. Same with the MACD. High, lower high, and that would have told you my algo pick top was a great resistance. We see the nasty shatter candle here. We see a no golden pocket tag, and you know me with mini fibs as well throughout the day. I would take this 5-minute high low. Let's try that for a second time here. MacBooks and Thinkorswim do not get along. Very hard to use this platform with a Mac. There we go. So as we've seen here, we have a no golden pocket recovery. So that means anything under the golden pocket right here, so we don't use it as support, is death. So once we get a breakdown under 22,080, that was our long target. It becomes short entry. And you can see how perfect these little fibbies played out for your late day short. Also something I talked about in chat to look for. So we broke down here. We stuck under the golden pocket there, under 22,073, snapped right through the 1618 to the penny 2618, like the algos like to do. Once we have gone all the way down to the 2618, generally we have a higher percent chance to go back to the 1618. It's like a walk, right? So once it breaks out of here, it goes 1618, 2618, 2618, 1618, and it walks itself back up on the fibs. Now we've broken through 2618s, 1618s. It's done opposite, but it's a general rule of statistics and likelihood. So as we come into that 2618 here, that is a very, very strong support bounce to get at least back to. So my chat knows this a lot. We talk a lot about these algos every single day on these recaps. And as we slowly talk about these plays live on stream and talk about the entire play out, the swings, the algos, and the options we have for later on in the day to watch, we get it done with some intraday fibs a lot of the time. One big takeaway here too is just a VWAP. I do like to mention the volume weighted average price, like always, my favorite indicator. And we use that as a channel a lot of the times. So on a day like today, coming into a holiday week where it's a short week, Trump inauguration, and you know, if you're a Nancy Pelosi fan, you've seen her attack Fang with huge options positions. The day before massive AI news comes out, and, lo and behold, she's just so lucky. So we assumed from the Pelosi news we were coming right back up, and this week was going to be the week we hit target. So, but the VWAP here, beautiful purple band is the center, and the +2, see right here as she slowly ran away from that VWAP. This is giving you a heavy signal that it's going up, 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 squeeze when something doesn't come back in tag. So when the algos start picking stuff up, right, and it doesn't allow back tests. So this was at open. That's the last time we've seen VWAP. So you can see some of these candles right here. See my fat head's in the way. Nope. Some of these wicks right here that are holding the 10 SMA in the blue, holding above. Notice none of those candle price actions came into VWAP, right? Nothing hit the VWAP and allowed it to. It was getting picked up and bought ahead of time. right? So people were knowing not to wait for the institutional VWAP to become support. They were actually buying into the VWAP, having no interest in actually tagging it, right? Then it caught some faster moving averages, and then it launched itself up. This is great because it becomes our algorithmic target for later, because these are all no tags. We call this shying, right? So when it broke over the VWAP here, it shied, double shy higher low, double shies and higher lows. And we're getting pretty far away for those shies. Shy right here at that open, it could have had volatility to wick that down. It did not. So by the end of the day, you're going to look for the VWAP to become a targetable short from our long exit. So if our long exit is 22,008, we called the short under 22,080, right? That would be the breakdown of our huge algorithm imbalance that needed to be filled up here, that we've had on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And we knew it was going to come back up and fill. It's not if, it's when these algos fill. So for the rest of the remainder of the day, I would say, hey, we got about an hour left. We could probably bang down into that VWAP. And if it does not do that on the NQ, you should be looking for it on the Q. Keep typing too many Qs. So that's going to be our target for the day. So just to peek at it, just real quick. So again, we have the holds here on QQQ, big shies, nowhere near it, nowhere near it, nowhere near it, and shied it. Eventually we'll be coming down here, cracking down and finding that volume weighted average price for a later day short target. That's another good exit to use. So you can see how wide the VWAP ranges are. You can see right where that top pick we did picked in here to the +2 VWAP. That's 2 deviations out from the center. So if this is a regular VWAP, this is +2 away from it. And generally speaking, that's a great resistance point when the +2 VWAP matches up with an algorithm resistance we have. Very, very, very smooth. So that can come all the way back down to close to VWAP. Again, we're early in, early out in my chat. So a lot of the times when we teach people the systems, teach people, we don't really alert. We're not an alert service by any means. We'll teach you how to fish. We definitely don't hand out fishes. I mean, let's be honest. If your psychology in the stock market and day trading is, hey, I paid this guy a couple bucks a month and he's totally going to make me rich, you already lost. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. If you think there's a magical protocol of an alert service that actually works, everybody would be in that chat if it actually worked, because it would spread like wildfire. I'd be in there with you if there was a such thing as free calls. So, utilizing your psychology, keeping your wits about you, and utilizing first tag algorithms, and at least trading with the computers, it does give you an edge on the market. And trading is all psychology. A monkey can learn this technical analysis. There's no such thing as an alert service. All the clouts that you see online here, it's not worth. That's not the real psychology of trading. That's not how it works at all. So as the price action comes down for its final target of backtesting short here, probably that 100 EMA 2 in the next hour of the power hour here, we could backtest the purple, the gold level here with 531 as we break to that VWAP. But I'm more or less just watching that 100 EMA backtest because, again, that open never got that 100 EMA. So when we shy things and do big pushes, generally speaking, 10, 30, 11, the algos reverse. You hear me say that all the time. 10, 30, 11, reverse, premium resistance, obviously our target, so on and so forth. So we could get down here. And even if we don't, it doesn't matter. That just actually sets us up for an amazing tag for Thursday. So actually, if we don't come back down to that 100 EMA 5 minute today, and we just hold up here and chop and it never comes to the 100 EMA, tomorrow, pay attention, that magnet is going to be active, which means price action will glue to that 100 EMA. I don't care if it's under it and it goes to the 100 EMA, or price action is over it and goes to the 100 EMA for pre-market into the open. But I have a pretty solid feeling we'll most likely get a tag today. And that's about it. So that's a lot of the algorithms and a lot of the points of interest that I called in our Discord. We went over a bunch of calls on the X here, and we stream live. I do this every single day at the market's open. Excuse me. And if any of that sounds good, you guys want to tune into the live stream, link is in the description. If not, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.